Welcome to Learn Beginning English class. This is lesson 58. If you find this lesson helpful, please like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Your instructor is Richard Campbell. Thanks for watching.
Congratulations on making it to lesson 58. Here is the complete list of the 100 most popular verbs in the English language. The verbs that we have studied from the previous lessons are in blue. This sentence is in present perfect tense, which means that we studied these verbs in the past, and that we still study them in the present. The verbs that we have not been studying from previous lessons are in black. This sentence is in present perfect continuous tense, which means that we did not study these verbs in the past, but we are going to study them now. Present, past, participle. 1. Be, am, are, is, was, were, been. 2. Have, had, 3. Do, did, done. 4. Say, said, said. 5. Go, went, gone. 6. Get, got, gotten. 7. Make, made, made. 8. Know, knew, known. 9. Think, thought, thought. 10. Take, took, taken. 11. See, saw, seen. 12. Come, came, come. 13. Want, wanted, wanted. 14. Look, looked, looked. 15. Use, used, used.
16. Find, found, found. 17. Give, gave, given. 18. Tell, told, told. 19. Work, worked, worked. 20. Call, called, called. 21. Try, tried, tried. 22. Ask, asked, asked. 23. Need, needed, needed. 24. Feel, felt, felt. 25. Become, became, become. 26. Leave, left, left. 27. Put, put, put. 28. Mean, meant, meant. 29. Keep, kept, kept. 30. Let, let, let.
31. Begin, began, begun. 32. Seem, seemed, seemed. 33. Help, helped, helped. 34. Talk, talked, talked. 35. Start, started, started. 36. Show, showed, showed, shown. 37. Hear, heard, heard. 38. Play, played, played. 39. Run, ran, run, ran. 40. Move, moved, moved. 41. Like, liked, liked. 42. Live, lived, lived. 43. Believe, believed, believed. 44. Hold, held, held. 45. Bring, brought, brought.
46. Happen, happened, happened. 47. Write, wrote, written. 48. Provide, provided, provided. 49. Sit, sat, sat. 50. Stand, stood, stood. 51. Lose, lost, lost. 52. Pay, paid, paid. 53. Meet, met, met. 54. Include, included, included. 55. continue, continued, continued. 56. Said, sad, sad. 57. Learn, learned, learned. 58. Change, changed, changed. 59. Lead, led, led. 60. Understand, understood, understood.
I will give you the rest of the 100 most common verbs in lesson 59. But for now, we will study gerunds and infinitives, and how they are used with other verbs. A gerund is simply the ing form of a verb, and an infinitive is the present tense form of the verb with to. For example, the gerund form of the verb work is working, and the infinitive form is to work. The gerund and the infinitive look like an action verb, but in terms of grammar they act more like a noun. Gerunds and infinitives are useful for some verbs like number 35, from our list of verbs. I started my class at 9 o'clock. This sentence with a gerund is I started teaching my class at 9 o'clock. This sentence with an infinitive is I started to teach my class at 9 o'clock. The main verb is start. So, answer these questions. What did you start at 9 o'clock? The answer is my class. What did you start doing at 9 o'clock? The answer is teaching. What did you start to do at 9 o'clock? The answer is to teach. Remember that in the perfect tenses, since is for the time that an action started in the past and that for is used for the length of time of the action, from the start of the action to now. Use the verb teach. Change this sentence to present perfect continuous tense. I started my class at 9 o'clock. I have been teaching since 9 o'clock. I have been teaching for 1 hour. Now, use the verb start in the gerund form of teach. I started teaching at 9 o'clock. Now, use the infinitive form of teach. I started to teach at 9 o'clock.
What do you think about this lesson?
I think this lesson is very helpful.
What did you think about lesson 57?
I also thought that lesson was very helpful.
What have you thought about this class in general?
In general, I have thought these lessons are helpful.
Who thinks about this lesson? I do. Who thought about lesson 57? I did. Who has thought about this class in general? I have. Class. What are you thinking about now? We are thinking about this lesson. What have you been thinking about for the last few minutes? We have been thinking about this lesson.
(22) Ask, asked, asked. What do I do in this lesson?
U.S. questions. U.S. questions.
What did I do in lesson 57?
You asked questions.
What have I done in this lesson?
You asked questions.
What have I done in this lesson?
What does she ask questions about in this lesson? She asks questions about English grammar. What did she ask questions about in lesson 57? She asked questions about English grammar. What has she asked questions about in this lesson? She has asked questions about English grammar. What has she been asking questions about in this lesson? She has been asking questions about English grammar. Use the verb to go to complete these sentences. For present tense, use every day. For past time, use last year. For or since. Present tense. I go to the store every day. Past tense. They went to Canada last year. Present continuous tense. She is going to school. Present perfect tense. I have gone to school for 1 year. Present perfect continuous tense. She has been going to school since last year. I go to the store every day. Who goes to the store every day? I do. Where do you go every day? I go to the store. When do you go to the store? I go to the store every day. They went to Canada last year. Who went to Canada last year? They did. Where did they go last year? They went to Canada. When did they go to Canada? They went to Canada last year. I have gone to school for 1 year. Who has gone to school for 1 year? I have. Where have you gone for 1 year? I have gone to school. How long have you gone to school? I have gone to school for 1 year. How many years have you gone to school? I have gone to school for 1 year. She has been going to school since last year. Who has been going to school since last year? She has. Where has she been going since last year? She has been going to school. How long has she been going to school? She has been going to school since last year. How many years has she been going to school? She has been going to school for 1 year. She has been going to school since last year. Why has she been going to school? Write the answer, with an infinitive and the verb study. She has been going to school to study English. What has she been studying in school since last year? Write the answer with present perfect continuous. She has been studying English. 13. Want. Wanted. Wanted. Infinitives are often used with the verb want, but gerunds are rarely, if ever, used with the verb want. For example, I want to go to the store. Not I want going to the store. What do you want to do? Not what do you want doing? She has wanted to buy a new car for several years. Not she has wanted buying a new car for several years. What has she wanted to buy? Not what has she wanted buying? There are many verbs, like want, that can be followed by an infinitive, but not a gerund. Here are some verbs from the list that can be followed by an infinitive. 6. Get. 13. Want. 21. Try. 22. Ask. 23. Need. 26. Leave. Complete each sentence with the correct form of the verb, followed by an infinitive. She gets to play soccer every Saturday. She gets to play soccer every Saturday. I wanted to buy a new shirt at Walmart yesterday. I wanted to buy a new shirt at Walmart yesterday. She gets to play soccer every Saturday. I wanted to buy a new shirt at Walmart yesterday. The arrow points to the answer. Try to write the question. What does she get to play every Saturday? She gets to play soccer. Where did you want to buy a new shirt yesterday? I wanted to buy a new shirt at Walmart. When does she get to play soccer? She gets to play soccer every Saturday. Who wanted to buy a new shirt at Walmart yesterday? I did. What did you want to buy at Walmart yesterday? I wanted to buy a new shirt.
Try to complete each of the sentences with an infinitive. They try to sleep for 8 hours every night. They try to sleep for 8 hours every night. She asked to talk to my class last month. She asked to talk to my class last month. He needed to see a doctor last week. He needed to see a doctor last week. I will leave my house at 1 o'clock to walk my dog. I will leave my house at 1 o'clock to walk my dog.
Now, try to answer my questions. When did she ask to talk to my class? She asked to talk last month. How many hours do they try to sleep every night? They try to sleep for 8 hours. Who did he need to see last week? He needed to see a doctor. What do they try to do every night? They try to sleep. What time will you leave your house? I will leave my house at 1 o'clock. Why will you leave your house at 1 o'clock? I will leave my house to walk my dog. Who asked to talk to your class last month? She did. When did he need to see a doctor? He needed to see a doctor last week. When do they try to sleep for 8 hours? They try to sleep for 8 hours every night. What did she ask to do last month? She asked to talk to my class. Who needed to see a doctor last week? He did. Who did she ask to talk to last month? She asked to talk to my class. Who tries to sleep for 8 hours every night? They do. Verb number 10 from the list is take, took, taken. Present continuous tense. They are taking a coffee break in their office. Present tense. They take a coffee break in their office every day. Past tense. They took a coffee break in their office a few minutes ago. Present perfect tense. They have taken coffee breaks in their office. Present perfect continuous tense. They have been taking coffee breaks in their office every day. Now, look at the answer and try to write the question. What are they doing in their office? They are taking a break. Where are they taking a break? They are taking a break in their office. Who is taking a break in their office? They are. Are they taking a break in their office? Yes, they are. What do they do in their office every day? They take a break. Where do they take a break every day? They take a break in their office. Who takes a break in their office every day? They do. Do they take a break in their office every day? Yes, they do. What did they do in their office? They took a break. Where did they take a break? They took a break in their office. Who took a break in their office? They did. Did they take a break in their office? Yes, they did. What have they done in their office? They have taken coffee breaks. Where have they taken coffee breaks? They have taken coffee breaks in their office. Who has taken coffee breaks in their office? They have. Have they taken coffee breaks in their office? Yes, they have. What have they been doing in their office? They have been taking coffee breaks. Where have they been taking coffee breaks? They have been taking coffee breaks in their office. Who has been taking coffee breaks in their office? They have. Have they been taking coffee breaks in their office? Yes, they have.
He has been living in Portland for 1 year. Who has been living in Portland for 1 year? He has. Who has been living in Portland for 1 year? He has. Where has he been living for 1 year? He has been living in Portland. Where has he been living for 1 year? How long has he been living in Portland? He has been living in Portland for 1 year. How long has he been living in Portland? Yes, he has. Has he been living in Portland for 1 year? Has he been living in Portland for 2 years? No, he has not. No, he hasn't. She has been living in Portland for 30 years. Who has been living in Portland for 30 years? She has. Who has been living in Portland for 30 years? Where has she been living for 30 years? She has been living in Portland. Where has she been living for 30 years? How long has she been living in Portland? She has been living in Portland for 30 years. How long has she been living in Portland? How many years has she been living in Portland? Yes, she has. Has she been living in Portland for 30 years? Has she been living in Portland for 2 years? No, she has not. No, she hasn't.
Where are you living now?
I am living in Seattle.
How long have you lived in Seattle?
I have lived in Seattle since 2010.
Where did you live before Seattle?
Before Seattle, I lived in Portland. Where did I live before Seattle? You lived in Portland. How long have I lived in Seattle? You have lived in Seattle since 2010. Where have I been living since I left Portland? You have been living in Seattle. When did I go to Seattle? You went to Seattle in 2010.
They have been reading in the living room for 1 hour. Who has been reading in the living room for 1 hour? They have. Who has been reading in the living room? Where have they been reading for 1 hour? They have been reading in the living room. Where have they been reading? How long have they been reading in the living room? They have been reading for 1 hour. How long have they been reading in the living room? Yes, they have. Have they been reading for 1 hour? Have they been reading for 2 hours? No, they have not. No, they haven't.